Yeah, right. We need one, I believe, Mike LaPerry, to discuss the financials of a particular company.
Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved, Janice.
I'll second.
Seconded, Kim.
Okay, Mike, I have a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make the motion to come out of executive session.
Seconded, Kim.
Okay. Can we look at the minutes? Does anybody have any questions on the minutes or any changes other than what's already been done? Can we
No,
have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion, Brian.
Seconded, Kim.
Okay, Finance Committee?
Check totaling $68,500. We had a $60,000 loan to the Rochester Folk Art Guild. Checks number 302 to 304, and then check number 1021 to close out the emergency loan fund for $17,045.83, and that money will be deposited back into Horizon. We still have one outstanding loan for the emergency one, so I don't see any reason to keep that account open any longer. We get that money, it'll just go into Horizon. That's all I have to report. If anybody's got any questions.
Okay, can we have a motion to accept the finance report?
So moved,
Yeah, so moved.
Janice.
I'll second.
Seconded.
All right. Next on the agenda is the loan collateral on Rochester Folk Art Guild.
Yep, the Rochester Folk Art Guild has requested a change in collateral on their $65,000 loan. We would be adding a first position mortgage on a property that they own. Total assessed value on the property is $241,000. And in return for adding the mortgage, they've requested that we remove the lien on one of their bank accounts, which is the current collateral.
I would make the motion to accept the change of collateral.
Seconded, Kim.
Okay. Are there any other items on the agenda?
We need to get a full approval on that one. So we got a motion and a second, but
Oh, it's a call,
Yeah.
roll call?
it's not a roll call, but we need all in favor.
Oh, sorry.
It's
All in
okay.
favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Abstained?
All right.
All right, so moved.
I do actually, Rita, have one more item to add to the agenda, which would be board member recommendations for the Horizon. We'll do this again as well for in the EDC meeting, but would like a motion. Of course, there can be some discussion, but to put forth to the county legislature, Amy Story and Marianne Rogers to fill the upcoming openings that will happen when Jean and Rita's terms unfortunately expire at the end of next month. Both have agreed to join, and I'll just quickly, I'll share a little bit. Amy obviously is the president of Keuka College. Everyone has a pretty good idea of her background. For Marianne, if you're not as aware of her background, she's lived in Yates County the last nine years. Her parents have been here 25 years. And she's currently when she moved here 9 years ago, she took over she's the HR manager at Farrell Corporation in Dresden, but she also manages HR for the Massachusetts, Georgia, and Rhode Island facilities as well. So she's got 4 different facilities that she's responsible for. I've gotten to know her pretty well she's really sort of taken the lead on our HR managers group that we got together. And also have served with her for this past, I guess, year on the Keuka College Community Associates Board. I think her term comes up at the end of this year on that. Her husband recently retired after 46 years of management at Perry's Ice Cream, working as a local realtor. She's pretty looking to get involved quite a bit in the community. So she's going to be, I believe, a good addition. So what we would need, and unless there's objections or anything to those two taking the position, we would need an approval for those two to be added, and then we will send that on to the legislature for their formal appointment, and then we can come back. Their term will start in January.
Do I have a motion?
I would make the motion. I'll second.
Second.
Hopefully Doreen got the names there. Who was doing which?
I may have been a runner-up in both cases. I don't know.
All right. Then, Steve, do you want to discuss the board position, the slate of officers here too?
I think we need to vote on the other one.
We need to
Oh,
finish
sorry.
that one. That's okay. So we need to do the all in favor,
All in
opposed
favor?
thing.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No abstentions. Okay. Steve, next on the agenda is the board positions.
I think for what I'm going to do, Rita, I think is just wait off on the various positions within the board just until we get the formal approval or appointment from the legislature.
Okay,
Just, I don't foresee any issues, but I do have, I have asked Mary Ann to step into one of the roles. So if for some reason the legislature says no, then we'd have to come back and amend it anyway. So what I'd like to do is just hold off until the December meeting to formally appoint the various
okay,
roles, if that's in committee positions, if that's okay.
sure. Okay, any other items to discuss in this meeting, or are we ready to adjourn?
I think we're ready.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Kim.
Second, Janice.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, let's move on to Finger Lakes Economic Development.
We, once again, Rita, will have to go into executive session to discuss the potential sale and acquisition of land. I don't think, do we have any loans, Mike? I think, are we just, yep, so just to discuss the potential sale and acquisition of land.
All right. Someone make a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Second, Kim.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Okay, we are back.
Could I have a motion to move out of executive session?
I'll make the motion to move out of executive session.
Seconded, Kim.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Any questions on the minutes from the prior meeting? Have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Kim.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any changes in the agenda?
Yeah, we'll remove item number 4, which is the election of officers. We'll again hold off until next month on that.
Do we have, oh yeah, we do have board member approval. Okay. All right. Finance report?
I don't know if anyone had any questions on the various loan reports that Mike did. We've still got a little bit of tweaking there, but
I like the addition of the aging report. With all of them together, there's, I think, all the information now that we would need to be looking at on a monthly basis. So it's a good collection of reports.
Good, thanks.
at the total bills today is $54,044.16. Consists of check number 5368 to 5390 and includes the payroll checks, E26, E29, E30, the one paid for the New York State retirement. I don't know if anyone had any questions on anything else.
Do you have a motion to approve the finance report?
So moved, Kim.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Who wants to go first? Doreen on the monthly status?
I don't have any updates. I don't know if anyone's got any questions.
Hey, Doreen, it's Russ. I sent you a link, I think it was to you anyway, for the sexual harassment training video for the state.
Yes, I got that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I apologize. Our internal training video is something that I can't disseminate outside of the office, but the state one will satisfy the training requirements.
Okay.
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
Mike LaPerry and I have done ours through that Skill Up Yates program. So.
Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
And all the board members have to do that too, don't they?
So why don't we send that link out and Doreen forward it to the board?
If we did it through our current business, do we have to do it again?
I don't think so. No, as long as you take it once, you're good. You just have to show that you've completed it.
Yeah,
So
so
if
you just
Yeah.
need to give Doreen
Like said.
something.
Yeah, that's correct. You don't have to do it,
Okay.
multiple times because you sit on different boards. So long as you completed an approved
Oh,
training program, you satisfy the requirements.
Okay.
Okay. Mike LaPerry, you're up
Yep.
next.
Just a quick update on the broadband committee. All our RFPs for engineering of the infrastructure and design and layout of the countywide broadband have been received, as well as RFIs for soliciting internet service providers to run the internet once we're up and live. Both have been received. We've reviewed both of them. A fair amount of good feedback. We're still in the selection process. However, we're hoping to make a determination here and have contracts in place fairly early in the new year. So things are moving along. We look forward to seeing some actual progress with the countywide broadband. With our first DRI project is having a grand opening / ribbon cutting tomorrow. Blue Heron Bakery, as I'm sure most of you know, has been open for a couple weeks now, but they are doing a small ribbon cutting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Have local media, the mayor, Chamber of Commerce will be in attendance. Anybody else that wants to attend can. Again, that's at 10 a.m. Tomorrow.
They're handing out free croissants.
That would be nice. they are tasty. They've done a good job so far. It's hard to not go there at least once a week.
I agree.
Any other questions?
Okay, move on to Steve. Oh, sorry, Mike Sepola.
That's okay, Rita. I don't really have anything to add beyond what's provided in the written report, unless there's questions.
And I will jump in. The only thing I'll add is making had a couple more meetings now on the attempt to find a grocery store for Dundee. I think of the interesting note, there's sort of three different models we're looking at. One is what obviously is the one that most people are aware of, which is a privately owned grocery store. The other one, a little bit more becoming more common, would be a co-op model. And then the one that is less known, but I think is kind of intriguing, would actually be a municipal-owned grocery store, where the Village of Dundee might actually own and operate the grocery store with village employees working there. And some of the examples given throughout it's been done a couple different places throughout the country now. It's not too much different than running your own electric company or your power company, right? That the sewer there's a fee for using it, and any additional revenues over expenses that they bring in can be used to offset tax base or to do other investments. So it's kind of a neat or interesting idea that has not been broached with the village. It's one of the options that is being explored to see what can work there. So it's we're working, as I mentioned, with Cornell University, some graduate students on the plan of that. And then the only other thing I will bring up is, in fact, it's going on again right now. The Grow New York Agricultural Summit is going on right now virtually. This is a business plan competition for ag-based businesses that has kind of grown out of the regional councils. And the business plan, the finalists are given their presentations all day yesterday and today, and there's some really pretty neat business ideas and concepts. Including yesterday, heard one from a company that's got a special bread bag that can add 10 to 20 days of shelf life for fresh bread. So Blue Heron Bakery could throw their loaves of this, and you gain almost an extra 3 weeks of freshness out of it. There was one that bottled water out of the sort of the water extract, I guess, or byproduct that's used in making maple syrup. There's hundreds of thousands of gallons of water that are used in that they would then take the waste of that and turn it into bottled water. And then the one that just, unfortunately, I was on our control room call, so I couldn't hear exactly how it worked, was a company from South Korea that has a nanotechnology that can combat the mold molecules in the air before it adheres to fruit and produce, and can destroy it before it reaches it, which was both really interesting and terrifying. But it was pretty wild. There were businesses from all over the world. There's another one from Australia that's got a particular it can bring, which I was really interested in and brought up to Mike afterwards. It can send Wi-Fi, high-speed broadband for farms, so that farmers can access the internet, high-speed internet, regardless wherever they are on their farms, so they can quickly access whatever prices are if they're in a commodities market. And that's by far the biggest challenge I know the farmers are facing right now from internet. Anyways, there's other challenges, of course, but just cannot get connectivity. So anyways, a lot of neat ideas. I'm interested in hearing what that goes on again today. Interested in hear what those are. And I guess just from a control room aspect, as you saw, our numbers in Yates County were increasing from a positivity rate. We at one point were up at 7%, coming down a little bit in the last few days. It was, there was some concern, will we get hit with a yellow zone declaration? And as of yesterday, that did not seem to be imminent. That whether you look at it as a positive or a negative, the rural communities don't really have a cluster per se. So even though we're above the positivity percentage metric that's used to get that designation, because they can't really define it in any one cluster, we seem to be avoiding that designation right now. However, that's obviously subject to change if things go the wrong way. But that is what I have.
Any questions? Okay. Our action items. We got the Penyan Solar first on the.
Yep. So Penyan Solar One LLC is a newly formed entity by C2 Energy Development. They're from downstate New York City area. Another solar development company. They created the Penyan Solar One project as they're in process of creating a 5 megawatt solar farm in the town of Torrey. It would be on Chris Hansen's land adjacent to Climbing Vines Brewery. They've submitted an application for financial incentives, straight lease back, including property sales and mortgage tax. C2 Energy would be leasing 25 acres of land from Chris and constructing the 5 megawatt solar farm over about 16 to 18 of those 25 acres. Again, they've requested incentives. The total economic benefit of the total project cost is $7,052,000. With negotiations with them, we've proposed a $4,225 megawatt per megawatt pilot rate with a 2% per year increase. We've suggesting a 25-year pilot. This is the length of the lease that they have negotiated with Chris. There is an option for a 5-year renewal. However, the company didn't feel that was necessarily going to be accepted, so we went with the 25-year pilot versus a 30-year, which we've done for the other projects in the county. So the total economic benefit, including the total project cost plus the pilot payments over 25 years, would be $7,728,640. Total projected abatements or tax savings is $1,227,321. Of that projected investment, $48,520 is a projected mortgage tax savings, $80,000 in sales and use tax savings, and $1,098,801 in property tax savings. The total economic benefit to projected benefit ratio is 6 to 1. It's a very similar project to the town of Benton solar project that is still ongoing. Same pilot schedule, same size project. So everything was basically modeled off of what we did for the town of Benton. The only change is the reduction in pilot term from to 25 years.
And just real quickly, Mike did send out to the board last evening that summary. So we went over quite a few numbers right there, but you do have that in your inbox if you haven't seen it yet. So because those benefits are obviously well over 100,000 and the longer term here, we do need to hold a public hearing on it. So all we're looking for at this particular point in time is an acceptance that they have completed their application and an approval from the board to schedule that initial public hearing.
Someone make a motion?
I'll make the
Steven, I have a
motion.
question.
Okay.
I think I heard a second there.
Second,
Steven, I have a question.
Janice had a question on it.
Yeah, I was just curious. I looked at the numbers, which are really big. Is that me causing that? Sorry.
It's okay.
There's no noise here doing that. That's really strange. So when we look at these, do we have to report out to the state any kind of a report that shows where the funds are going in terms of different individuals? I know they can set up different corporations and things like that, but is there any guidelines or rules of engagement around X% of the funds that we use to support, the tax bases or anything like that, that we concentrate them in the same individual comes in and asks for those just because they know they're there versus other individuals may not know they're there, or does that matter? Like, I know, we have particular individuals who are very active in development, which makes sense that they would then know the process, but do we need to be concerned that any of the funds or tax abatement or anything is supporting one individual more than others, or it just comes as it comes and we evaluate them each on their own?
At the correct on the latter part there, where it's a project by project basis, as it stands for any of the sort of the green energy type projects or any energy utility related projects, they all tend to be a little bit unique. Most of the time they are in need of much longer term pilots than what our typical pilot schedules run for. I think to get the financing they need to make them go, they need a little bit more assurance on the cost or the expense, especially when it comes to property taxes, to get the financing to go through. So the solar in particular has been sort of increasing in popularity, I guess. Here we've seen quite a few of them come in, not just here, but in just even talking at the state EDC board meeting, all over the place. There's solar projects all over the state, in particular all over. It seems like the Finger Lakes region, but there's lots and lots of these things going on. Enough of them actually to where there's some concern from the farming community, the agricultural community, about the amount of acres being lost, if you will, to solar panels. That's obviously where a lot of these are going. But in I guess direct response, Janice, that each project is sort of taken case by case. We do have our economic summaries and profiles of the projects to show what the community's investment is in the project versus what the return is expected to be. One of the highlights actually that the controller's office did on our audit was that we do that every time. And they actually called us out in a positive way. So look at it case by case, and no, there's no requirement that only so much can go to one particular company or developer.
Okay, I was just thinking about the data in a summary fashion because it could help if we continue to work, on any PR plan or the story, right? Because we have solar, even the broadband could be part of this. I know it's different, but I'm just listening to you guys talk about these different projects and the diversity of them. And honestly, the funds that are available, I don't know, it just seems like there's something there. And if I've seen it summarized, I haven't understood it. So maybe Steve, you and I could take that offline and you could help educate me and I could digest it because I feel like there's a story there. And you guys know it so well, but I think there might be something there. So
yeah, sure, we can do it, because there are restrictions. There are restrictions on what we can use money for, especially if it's agency funds. But yeah, we can talk about that outside of the meeting.
Think the mix and what people are doing here is really pretty cool, I think. But anyway, sorry for the distraction.
No worries. So I believe we had I don't know, did we have a motion in a second?
I think we did, but it's a roll call on this one?
It is a roll call, yep.
Rita,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Bill? Bill still with us? Janice?
Yes.
I didn't hear anything from Bill.
Did you get the rest of the roll call?
Jean and Serene are absent. I did not hear Bill's answer. So I think we're good, I guess.
You're muted, Steve.
You have everyone else though, Doreen?
Yes, I didn't hear Bill's answer, but
Yep. All right, then I think we're good.
Okay. Saber Finger Lakes? Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Saber Finger Lakes, we approved a pilot for them in November of 2019. Project is getting close to being complete. Building will be complete within the next month. Equipment still needs to be purchased. So the applicant or the client has requested an additional sales tax extension. We had approved a sales tax extension for them in May. And that has just recently expired on October 15th. They had delays in construction because of COVID, which resulted in the initial request for sales tax extension. The original goal was to potentially finish the build out and be able to host private events late fall, so this time of year. However, they quickly realized that they weren't going to be able to get that done. So they did not actually begin construction, resume construction to complete the build out until September. As a result, they weren't able to get that done before the sales tax sales tax abatement expired. So they've come back to us again for an additional extension. They're saying that the building should be done within a month, and then they'll purchase all their equipment with a completion date for the end of January. So they've requested a January 31st, 2021 date to extend the sales tax abatement until. We would need a motion to extend that, and they are aware that we are now charging for the sales tax extension, and they're still willing to go forward with that request.
Any questions? Can we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to extend the sales tax exemption.
Seconded, Kim.
All in favor?
Will be a roll call.
Oh, sorry, that
roll
was a
call?
roll call.
Rita,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Janice,
Yes.
I
Bill,
just got an email from Billy saying he has his email or his microphone is not working. So
okay. Okay.
Could he vote by typing in the chat box?
Or
To
thumbs
say
up,
yes.
or go like this.
he doesn't have his video on either. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have to refer to Russ on that one.
Sorry, the unmuting process for me is quite challenging. Yeah, you should do a roll call.
You're muted too, Steve.
One, they're sanding outside, so I keep hitting mute so you don't hear the motor going.
Well, I was on a call yesterday, and I digress with one of your colleagues, Steve, Sage Gerling from Geneva.
Yeah.
She's great, and she has young children, and it was just chaos in the background. So
The
we've all been
question,
through it.
the question, Russ, was in the Bill Holgate's microphone's not working, but in the chat, I see he just voted yes. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just let Doreen just have the minutes reflect that there was a roll call taken, and that one board member's microphone was inoperable, and that he voted yes by chat. So these are the times we're living with, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Do we want to just raise the issue back on the prior vote that since his microphone was off, whether he approves that, the first item on the resolution for Penyon Solar via chat too?
Yeah, we'll just make a note in the minutes, Doreen, that he voted by chat, please.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
Just so we all officially have it. Great. Okay, so we've got that done. Steve, you want to talk about board member approval?
Yep, I'm just making sure I wasn't muted. So same as our last meeting, just need an approval from the board to put forth Amy Story and Mary Ann Rogers to fill the two upcoming vacancies on our board.
Could we have a motion?
So moved, Kim.
I'll second, Ryan.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And Bill Holgate did it via chat.
Yeah.
All right, anything else on any other items to discuss or action to take?
I do not have any.
Okay, so I think we're done. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
So
All in favor?
second.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll see you next month on December 16th.
Sounds good.
Mike and
Everyone
Steve,
has a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Mike and Steve,